Betelgeuse, a star in Orion, might go supernova. This red supergiant is nearing the end of its life. Back in 2019, it dimmed a lot. People even noticed it without a telescope. It got so faint that folks wondered if it was about to explode. Scientists aimed their telescopes at it and saw proof of the dimming. The star is thought to be close to going supernova, which would mark the end, but nobody knows when or why. And could it hurt Earth? Nah. Betelgeuse is that bright red star on Orion the Hunter's upper right shoulder. It's also called Alpha Orionis. Even though another star in Orion, Rigel, is brighter, Betelgeuse is interesting since it changes a lot. Alpha stars are usually the brightest in their constellations, but Betelgeuse is big and reddish. It's popular, ranking as the 10th brightest star in the night sky, pretty easy to spot across North America and Europe. The name comes from Arabic and means armpit of the giant, since that's where it is in the constellation. Betelgeuse sheds about 1 solar mass of material every 10,000 years, making a nebula around it that's huge. Inside, hydrogen turns into helium, making heat and light. When the hydrogen runs out, it switches to helium and carbon. Then neon combines with carbon to make iron. But merging iron doesn't make energy, so core collapse and the star goes boom, supernova. Stars shine in different colors, from blue when they're young to red when they're old. An ancient stargazer said Betelgeuse was ruddy, but early Chinese watchers thought it looked yellow. Guess it might have been a yellow supergiant once. Big stars burn through their hydrogen fast, meaning they just live for like 10 million years. Betelgeuse is in its final stage, so when the sun has like 5 billion years left of life. It could go supernova someday, but we have no idea when. It has brightening and fading cycles. One happens every 5 years and lasts about 100 days. Its outer layers swell and shrink, changing its size and surface temperature. People got interested when it did strange things in 2019 and 2020. It faded a lot, then recovered a little. Some think this means it's getting ready to blow. We've been studying Betelgeuse for a long time, but we still don't know why it dimmed. Betelgeuse moves through space fast after being flung out of its birthplace in Orion with group of stars. It has a bow shock stretching way out. It is hard to tell how far red supergiants like Betelgeuse are from us. Because it pulsates, its size changes with time. The dimming causes its color to shift. Also, the stuff it throws off affects how bright it looks. Pictures of it are hard to take because its size seems to change with the wavelength of light used. The measurements can change a lot based on the light used. A ground-based observatory took pictures of a huge plume of gas coming from it in 2009. These ejections might help us figure out how massive stars lose mass before they die, and in closing periods. The processes in Betelgeuse's outer layers are hard to grasp, and we don't know exactly how these supergiants cast off stuff. But these stars are key to how elements move within galaxies, and astronomers are getting closer to understanding it. In 2019, scientists found that Betelgeuse had blown off part of its outer shell. This caused a big surface mass ejection. This caused it to dim a lot in late 2019. By mid-February 2020, it had lost a lot of brightness. The recent dimming wasn't a core collapse, because signs in infrared light matched those of recent observations. When Betelgeuse finally explodes, it'll be cool. Even though it's far away, it'll be bright and folks can see it even during the day for weeks or months. Experts think all the energy released would match what our sun emits in 10 billion years. The light from the explosion will across space and reach Earth as a super bright. Don't feel threatened though, the explosion won't hurt Earth or anyone on it. It will present an amazing science opportunity. In recent years, Betelgeuse has become brighter, and it's under close watch. Scientists are using telescopes and observatories, tracking surface light changes and mass outflows that show the star's instability. One idea is that it faded because a huge cloud of dust blocked its light. Understanding Betelgeuse could help astronomers figure out the life of giant stars, especially those about to go. It could help predict similar actions, explain how elements fill the cosmos, and see in detail how elements are made and scattered. Betelgeuse is like a cosmic clock ticking slowly. It could blow soon, next year, or way later. When it does, it'll be an unbelievable event. Understanding stars like Betelgeuse is super important. Massive stars are where heavy elements that matter are made. When they explode, they scatter these elements into space, creating ingredients for new stars, planets, and, who knows, life. Betelgeuse's potential supernova gives us a good chance to study such an event up close. Supernovae usually are way distant, in another galaxy, limiting the data scientists can collect. But Betelgeuse is in our galaxy and close. Astronomers could watch every step of the explosion. This is a treat for those studying neutrinos and gravitational waves. When a star goes supernova, it releases neutrinos and ripples. If Betelgeuse were to go, detectors could grab the data, offering insight. Astronomers also pay attention to what stars like Betelgeuse can show us about stellar acting in general. Red supergiants are hard to understand accurately. New telescopes are helping change that, but questions remain about Betelgeuse. Betelgeuse may seem steady for now, but scientists are still watching. Because the data could switch our idea of the life cycles of stars. In the meantime, Betelgeuse will stay an important point in the sky and in the memories of many. It's a cosmic wonder, but the time is ticking. Betelgeuse is the bright red star on Orion's right shoulder. It's also called Alpha Orionis. It's not the brightest star in Orion, that's Rigel, but it's still a big deal. It changes brightness a lot, which keeps scientists interested. Alpha stars are usually the brightest in their constellations, but Betelgeuse is famous because it's huge and red. It's the 10th brightest star we can see at night. Betelgeuse got its name from Arabic, meaning armpit of the giant, because of where it is in the constellation. It throws off a lot of stuff, about one sun's worth of material every 10,000 years. This stuff makes a cloud around it that's bigger than our solar system. Inside Betelgeuse, hydrogen is turning into helium, making heat and light. When the hydrogen runs out, it'll start using helium to make carbon. After that, neon will turn into iron. But when it tries to use iron, it won't make energy. So, the star will collapse and then boom, supernova. Stars shine different colors depending on how old they are. Young ones are blue, old ones are red. A long time ago, someone said Betelgeuse was ready, but Chinese star watchers thought it looked yellow. Maybe it used to be a yellow star? Big stars burn through their fuel fast, so they don't live as long. Betelgeuse is definitely in its last stages. Our sun has billions of years left, but Betelgeuse is getting ready to go. We just don't know when. Betelgeuse gets brighter and dimmer in cycles. One cycle happens every 5 years and lasts about 100 days. When its outer layers swell and shrink, it changes how big it looks and how hot it is. People got really interested in Betelgeuse when it dimmed a lot in 2019 and 2020 before getting brighter again. Some scientists think this was a sign that it's about to become a supernova. People have been studying Betelgeuse for ages, but we still don't know why it dimmed like that. Betelgeuse is moving through space pretty fast. It got kicked out of its star group and is now making a bow shock as it moves. It's hard to measure how far away Betelgeuse is. Also, it changes size because it's a pulsating star. The shell of stuff it throws off also messes with how bright it looks. What we see changes depending on the kind of light we're looking at. Back in 2009, some astronomers took pictures of Betelgeuse that showed a huge blob of gas shooting out from the star. This blob was as big as the distance between the Sun and Neptune. They've seen this happen a few times. These blobs might help us figure out how big stars die. The stuff happening in Betelgeuse's outer layers is still confusing, and we don't know exactly how it throws off so much stuff. But these stars are important for spreading stuff around galaxies. In 2019, scientists saw Betelgeuse throw off a big piece of its outer shell. This made it dim a lot. The Sun does this too, but Betelgeuse's event was way bigger. That's why it got so much dimmer. By early 2020, it had lost almost 3 times its brightness. But the dimming wasn't because it was about to explode, because they didn't see any changes in infrared light. When Betelgeuse finally goes supernova, it'll be amazing. Even though it's far away, the blast will be super bright, maybe even brighter than the moon. It might even be visible during the day for months. The explosion will send out a ton of energy. Don't worry, though. Even though it's close, the explosion won't hurt Earth. It'll just be a great thing for scientists to see. Betelgeuse is back to its normal brightness now, but scientists are still watching it. They're using telescopes to see how its surface changes, how its gas moves, and how much stuff it's throwing off. One thought is that the dimming was because of a big cloud of dust that blocked the light. Understanding Betelgeuse could help us learn how other big stars live and die. It could also help us learn about other galaxies and how stuff like iron and gold gets made and spread around space. Betelgeuse is like a ticking time bomb. It could explode any time. When it does, it'll be an amazing show and give scientists a lot of info. Knowing how stars like Betelgeuse live and die helps us understand the whole universe. Big stars make heavy stuff, and when they explode, they spread it around, which helps make new stars, planets, and maybe even life. Betelgeuse's supernova will be a great chance to study this kind of event up close. Most supernovas we see are far away, so we can't get a lot of detail. But Betelgeuse is in our own galaxy and relatively close to us, so we'll be able to see everything. Scientists are really excited to study the neutrinos and gravitational waves that it will send out. Astronomers are also watching Betelgeuse to learn more about how stars act in general. Red stars like Betelgeuse are hard to understand, but new telescopes are helping. There are still a lot of questions, and Betelgeuse might help answer them. Betelgeuse keeps changing and surprising us. It might look steady now, but scientists are ready for anything. When it goes supernova, it will the rules on how stars live and die. Until then, Betelgeuse will be a cool star in the sky and a main point for astronomers.